Hi everyone, RLC Cuba here, and here's my review of the MoYu Weilong WRM 2020. When I heard this cube was coming out, I pre-ordered it immediately. The original WRM has been my all-time favorite cube, and it has also been my one-handed main ever since it was released. I also used it for two-handed solving, but only because it felt so smooth and enjoyable. As a result of this, I had high hopes for the WRM 2020. I hope this review answers some, if not all, the questions you may have had about this cube, and hopefully helps you make a decision if it is right for you. Out of the box, this cube was extremely fast, very light, dry, and papery. But, as you can see here, this cube suffered from loud spring noises, so I needed to take care of this first. Here, I will show you how I set up my WRM 2020 to make it main-worthy. Here's a little trick I came up with to apply lubrication to the springs really quickly. Apply Traxxas 50K lube onto a clean surface. Remove the center cap and also make sure the dual adjustment system is on 0. This can easily be done with the tool provided or even with your finger. Now remove the screw and the spring. Now take a tweezers and hold the spring like this. Then dab both ends of the spring into the Traxxas 50K lube on both sides. Now replace the spring and test it out. Now do this to all centers. After completing all springs, add some Traxxas 50K to some of the tracks on the pieces. Now adjust each side with the same tension and work the lubrication in. After, add silk and then D&M to complete the setup. After lubing the cube, it became a lot more controllable, but maintained the fast, light, and papery feel. This cube has good stability but not the best, and this is only because the magnets used are, in my opinion, too light. I would say they are 50% too light. This brings me to my next point, which is, when I heard this cube was coming out, I was very surprised it didn't have an adjustable magnet system, seeing that most flagships now have this feature. Even though magnets are relatively easy to add, I still think this feature should have been included. For one-handed solving, it is good, but in my opinion, not better than the original WRM. As for the actual solving experience, I had to adjust my turning style to compensate for the effortless turning and light magnets. I do get some catching, but this may just be me still getting accustomed to it. Surprisingly, after setup, I was getting between 11 to 14 second solves, which is more along my average times. This cube carries over the same dual adjustment system from the WRM and the RS3 2020M, which I've always liked. It also has the same great corner cutting as the original WRM. After the setup, which I would say is absolutely necessary, the cube now feels very premium and definitely main-worthy. Now here's a list of pros and cons that I've found. The WRM 2020 is very light, fast, has excellent corner cutting, is smooth, feels good, has a dual adjustment system, It's main-worthy and looks premium. And now for the cons. Sometimes this cube is uncontrollable because of the speed. It has no adjustable magnetic system, magnets are 50% too light, it has a matte slippery finish, it's unusable out of the box, and it's quite expensive. So is this cube right for you? The WRM 2020 was one of those cubes that was highly anticipated because of the success of the original WRM. I was a bit disappointed to hear that it was being released with the same matte finish as the MoYu M and the RS3 2020M, but thankfully it does wear off after a few days, and especially when lube gets onto the surface pieces. The WRM 2020 has the weight of the MoYu M, but closer to the feel of the RS3 2020M. In fact, I'd say this is the flagship version of the RS3 2020M rather than an updated version to the original WRM. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this review has helped you with your decision on if this cube is right for you. As of now, it is not my main, but it is definitely one of my favorites.